And hello and welcome back to another edition of Stager Insights. Today, my guest is Rachel Borrelli. Hello.
Hi, Christine. How are you?
Good to see you. And you're located in Calgary, Alberta.
That's correct.
Excellent. So let's start by telling us about your business and how you got started.
Sure. I got started in 2010. I took the CSP course way back then and never looked back. Started working right away, doing mostly occupied. And within a few years, I slowly built up to full service, so vacant and occupied. Consultations, the full service. Mm-hmm. So I've been working ever since as a stager. Yeah.
Excellent. So at what point in your career development did you start looking at working with seniors? Because that's something that you specialize in, right?
Yes, that's correct. So I started to look at it more seriously about 2016, and it happened accidentally, which a lot of people who find their passion do find it in an interesting way. And in my case, my mother, who lived 3 hours away, her house burnt down, and I had to move her to Calgary while I was rebuilding her house, and she had transfer trauma, and we had to go through what kind of things, how many things, what things should be left behind, what could be moved, all of that. And I realized that all the training I had taken over the years through CSP, as well as through the University of Calgary, I took the interior design, gave me a lot of skills that I needed to be able to help a senior transition into a new phase of their life. Mm-hmm. And what I didn't have, I continue to get training in, and I'm a huge supporter of education. So I focused on seniors after that because the CSP courses gave me what I needed before that.
That's awesome. So yeah. In the years, you'd say 11 years now that you've been working, what sort of, and I know you've been involved with the Real Estate Staging Association as well, for local chapter from there. So
and Alberta president. Currently,
oh,
yes.
Well, there you go. So Alberta president, that's too. So you got some insight in terms of the development of the industry and what you were seeing for stagers, to give some insight on that. And then I'd like to talk a little bit more about, the senior market.
That's right. Yeah, no, I'm happy to. So as far as the staging, I've never seen a bigger year. COVID had really helped stagers, I think, in that people were only looking online, not interested in going into homes at all due to safety, obviously. And so more and more realtors got serious about making sure that the pictures looked good, and vacant homes were not looking good at all. So many of us were able to, unfortunately, but fortunately, prosper during this pandemic and expand and grow. It's amazing how many people or realtors even now, even from the past 2 years, wouldn't consider listing a house anymore without a stager, at the very least do a consultation. And that's wonderful to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is really awesome. Because you're right, looking online is the key element today to get your house even in front of the buyer. Yeah. So what percentage of your business is dealing with seniors now?
So just because of COVID, I would say in the last year, it had slowed down because of the pandemic. But if we said mature clients, and we could expand on that, not just the seniors, to me, the seniors are 75 plus, and the mature clients are really 57, 58 plus.
Right.
So I would say 35% of my business is mature clients. Wow. Steady. Yeah.
So somewhere along our history, you and I had a conversation about helping other stagers or decorators, even realtors and organizers expand Correct. Their knowledge into that marketplace for mature people who are moving. And so as a result of that, you developed a really good program. So let's talk about that program. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so we did recognize that this is a growing market segment and an opportunity to expand the business. And although I was taking many courses, none of them really fit with how I started to model my business and the service I was providing and the feedback I was getting. And so together we had developed this program, the residential transition service specialist, the residential transition specialist. And I feel that it really fits with the current needs of what stagers, organizers, designers, and even a couple of realtors have been in the course, and the feedback has been fantastic. So we know that we're adding value to people's businesses, and they're able to build another service onto their current service and be different. And being different sets you apart, and that's what it's all about.
So what sort of thing would they learn in the program?
Yeah, so we have 6 hours of training, not including the assignments between the classes. So in session 1, we talk about everything from market strategies to where to go look for your clients, how to talk with different clients and their needs. We talk about how to understand the generational needs. How does it differ from your average client? We talk about, trying to think offhand here, there's so much. One of the comments was they were shocked at how much jam-packed information is in there. But the first session is all about building your business and everything you need to build that business, including professional partnerships and other certifications that they can partner with, or people they can go look for, trades that they may need. Then the second session, another 2 hours, is we go into great detail on the process from onboarding a client and the discovery, our first initial discovery meeting, and everything that has to take place during that meeting, and all the information that has to be given and all the information that has to be taken in from that person to be able to serve them properly. One of the things about dealing with mature clients is the one-stop shopping, so to speak, in that they don't want to deal with a whole bunch of people. So they are looking for the leader of that group and who is going to be the one to talk to them. So if that's you, you really have to listen to everything that they need so that you can inform everyone else that will be going in and out of the process throughout until they move into their next place.
So and then there's a third segment.
There is a third session, and that's my favorite because it's dealing with the move-in and designing for health and wellness. So designing around any disabilities they have, designing for biophilia, bringing the outside in, and universal designs, aging in place. We touch on all kinds of different elements of design that are important for seniors.
Yeah. So how does this differ or mirror what people generally term as senior move management?
So in the senior move management, a lot of it too is the term is used a little widely, but senior move management is about moving. Senior move management, the way I understand it, is moving the senior into a senior community living.
Okay.
And what we talk about is not just moving someone into community living. We talk about the 57 plus generation that is the most common, or 55 plus, that is wanting to move into a home and renovate it now while they're healthy and they have the time to do it right, and so that they can live there a very long time, comfortably, safely, and independently. And they're doing it now instead of later. So it touches on that as well as just moving into a senior community living. we touch on both, but we talk about Zoomers, a word that describes active, healthy, fun, adventurous boomers, or the 55 plus group. We talk about helping them. They are excited to renovate these days. They want everything new. They want out with the old. They want to redesign the space so they can age in place. We talk about all the different types of clientele.
So that's one of the biggest differentials I see, because I was thinking about it the other day when we looked at residential transition specialist. How is that different than staging? And it's targeted specifically to people who are really the person who's most likely to be selling property, but moving them into a place where they'll be hopefully well and age into their senior years, their sunlight years, let's say. Why does somebody need to be certified? And what our past students are saying?
Yeah, so certification always gives people the confidence that you took the time to invest in yourself, to get trained in an area that helps them, that gives value to them, the person that hired you. So it just gives you that extra credibility. But aside from that, it's about really adding value to the client and really understanding the different generational needs, different needs for different disabilities. And if I can just for a minute give you an example,
yeah.
I was called into a senior luxury center here, and they asked me to showcase one of their rooms that they're having a really hard time renting out or selling to anyone moving in. And the first thing I noticed when I moved in there, which was totally different than the rest of the place that was done by architects and designers who specialize in senior living, was that it was all white. The whole place was white. So the trim was white and the walls were white, very much on trend. And I was told that a designer had come in. They asked a designer for her opinion. And I know the designer, great designer, been around a long time. And she suggested white on white because it's on trend. But someone with poor vision won't be able to see the door. They need a color contrast of at least between 29 and 45 degrees, at least. So that's the kind of stuff that we talk about. And the layout that was put in there, the living room floor layout was set up right between the bedroom and the only bathroom in the suite. So for a senior to go to the bathroom at night,
in the dark,
that was an accident waiting to happen. And as we know and talk a lot about in the course, one of the main reasons that seniors are hospitalized is due to falling. And it's huge. So that layout didn't make sense. And the wall color didn't make sense. And again, this was a brilliant designer. She does beautiful work. So it wasn't to criticize her, but it just gives you an example of
not understanding the client.
Yeah, exactly. And we spend a lot of time on that. And that's the type of things that people say. I'm so proud of the comments that have come out. And I hope you are too, Christine. Exceeded expectations. They were able to put a lot of the information to use right away, both the process and the design elements. And we really go big on the design elements for seniors. A lot of everyday knowledge. Just jam-packed information and a lot of tools. And the assignments that we do give people the confidence to move forward, because the assignments are based on real life and they take that with them.
So we're doing sort of general knowledge of the industry and who to target, how to market that, specifics in terms of aging in place and helping them move. It's not like doing a renovation or a flip. There's a lot more detail to that. And then the floor design itself, assignments every week.
Yes.
And, I think the other part of being certified is, it is a knowledge economy, whether people believe it or not, and nobody can look inside your head. So when you have a designation to leverage that says, I can do this, and I'm not just saying I'm doing it, but somebody else has
That's right.
looked at my work and said, I can do it. I think that is one of the big factors in there. And,
That's right.
and you include a lot of the forms and processes.
The students have been thrilled with how many forms and products we've given them to take with them, and also building on the brochure, learning design files even further, being able to downsize with an actual software system. That's one of the assignments. There's so much given to them by the end of the class that there's very little that they need, including the contract and all kinds of forms.
So, and starting in 2022, which is hard to believe that we're going into 2022.
I know.
We're actually adding more value to that program too, right?
That's right.
We'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we continue to build on the program through, you've been very generous in offering more marketing tools for the residential transition specialist, which is fabulous. That's amazing. We're also looking on insurance for the residential transition specialist, anything above and beyond the senior move management that anyone wants to put into their business model, because there is a menu of services that can be offered. And some people may not move forward with all, they don't want to be a full service residential transition specialist. They may want to pick and choose, similar to how we do as stagers. Some of us only want to do consultations. Some of us are full service. That's the same with the residential transition specialist. So to be able to offer and build on that through insurance is fantastic. I'm so excited.
So we're giving social media support, as well as brochures and presentations, forms to do the work, and now, you know, introducing insurance. And introducing the insurance is a preferred partner, so that you're actually going to save money. So it offsets the investment of the tuition.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Right? So who would be an ideal student for this program?
So there's a whole list of people that have taken it and benefited from it, but anyone that wants to work with mature clients. But any stagers, we've had organizers in the program, we've had realtors in the program, we've had decorators. We've actually even had a past architect in the program. Trying to think who else we've had, and they've all given us great comments. So that's really anyone that wants to either build that service or add to a current business. And start niching into that, or just have an added value.
And so the program runs 4 times a year. We're headed
4 times a year. So we have one starting on October 13th, 2021. Then we have another one in January already scheduled, and we have another one in March already scheduled.
Yeah. So about every 3 months, and or 2 to 3 months sort of thing. We're looking at the calendar. So if anybody wanted to take some more information, they could go to stagingtraining.com and check out the calendar and look for the program. And then we have obviously more information on there. So great.
Right.
And how
if I
could
could
somebody
just
get a hold of you? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I just want to backtrack to your question. Who takes it, who can take the program or should take the program? I wanted to mention why I specifically targeted those people too, because the demographics that we serve, the 55 plus or 58 plus, how, you know, everyone has their own target market, but those are most likely already our main client. That's who we work. They're the sellers as far as stagers and organizers. They're the ones that are paying for extra service, and they don't mind doing it because they want things done and they want it done right. So we already have access to those clients. And if you are a stager, you then are probably working with a realtor that also specializes in seniors as well. So, and if that's not the group that's your main clientele, then it's probably the sandwich generation, who are the one generation below looking after their parents. So again, we already have access to those clients. So why not offer that extra service?
Yeah. So
I just wanted to throw that in because that's
well, I appreciate it. That's great. So if anybody is thinking about not just getting into the staging industry, but leaning more towards this niche that we've been talking about today. If they have any questions, can they get a hold of you? Where would they find you?
Absolutely. So definitely on the CSP stager training, they can get through to the program that way. But if they wanted to contact me directly, they can certainly contact me at rachel@diversadesigns.com if they have any questions. On my website, diversadesigns.com, you can find my phone number on there as well. I'm happy to talk to anyone that wants to talk about the course, for sure.
Great. Okay. Any last information, any tips, any inspiration? What's been the best part of doing this type of work for you?
Yeah,
What's the
and
best memory you have?
The best memory is how happy people are when they get to their new, I want to say new space, but their new life. Because it's not, and I say this in the class, this is not about moving boxes, decluttering, packing. It's about moving someone into their new life and lifestyle. And it's such a scary thing. Any change is difficult. It's funny how we are so cognizant of how when we move children from a new school to meet new friends, but when it comes to seniors, we expect it to be a little bit easier, but it's not. They've lived in the same home or in the same neighborhood for a long time. So that move is big and it's scary. And it is so rewarding when they are excited and they see their family pictures go up, and the only thing they have to do on the other end when they get there is enjoy their space.
Because aging is frightening.
It is, absolutely.
You know?
And they're dealing with a lot of things, not just the aging in some cases.
It's so right. True. It's so true. I saw something yesterday on Facebook. Somebody had said something along the lines about aging and how difficult it is, because it doesn't matter how old the body is. Inside, you're still the same person you were when you were younger. And it's just like when you pass a mirror, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that sort of thing.
Yes.
You know?
Who's that?
It is. Who is this person? Yeah. So it is, I'm sure, frightening for people. Not just the moving, but this is, you know, the sunset years of your life, however short or long that is. And processing that's got to be a sensitive situation to be able to deal with.
Yeah, you have to really be a good listener too, because they like to tell you about their life. Yeah. And that is part of the job, is letting them do that. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been really insightful. And I look forward to chatting with you again, maybe next year, and seeing how the course is going.
Excellent.
Okay, great.
I look forward to it too.